Welcome back to the channel, it's Andy and we're back with the Tottenham save. The beta is now out and today we're going to have a look at the match engine for the first time, and also I'm going to talk you through what we have initially for a tactic with Tottenham. We're going to see what we're going to be playing, what system we're going to be playing, and have a bit more of a closer look at some of the players. But yeah, later on in the video, going to be playing our first match on FM23, having a look at the match engine for the first time. I've heard it's like as good as it's ever been, which is always nice to hear. So let's jump into it. As always, if you want to see more videos, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a video, turn notifications on, drop a like, leave comments, and again, let me know sort of how your initial saves are going. You know, you're playing the game for the first time. What do you think of it? What do you think of the stuff they've announced, the new features? Let me know your thoughts on FM23. So the game we're going to be playing is just an intro squad friendly, just so we can have a look at the match engine for the first time. Next episode, we're going to be jumping ahead to the start of the season. Our first game of the Premier League season is a home game against Liverpool. We have Liverpool and Man City in our first two games, which you can't get a tougher start than that. This is the squad that Tottenham have at their disposal. It's a good squad. Whether it's good enough to win trophies, we will see. I think they can win trophies. They can win a domestic trophy. They came close with the Champions League a couple of years ago. Remember the final in 2019? They were runners-up to Liverpool. It's a good side, and it's a side that's good enough to win a domestic trophy. Not good enough to win the league. And I think they got very lucky with the Champions League final, getting to where they got, getting past Ajax. It's a good side though, I do like it. So tactically, what are we looking at? Well, I am going to try and replicate Conte's 3-4-3 as much as I can. This is kind of what we have at the moment. There may well be some little changes that we make maybe throughout the season as we start, but let's have a look at the tactic. So in goal, you can't really look past Hugo Lloris. Current captain, though that might change. I'm not sure if I'll change it to Harry Kane or not. But Lloris at 35, still as good as ever, and you know, he's going to play unless he gets hurt. He's just a veteran goalkeeper, knows what he's doing. We have a back three. Eric Dyer is going to be in the middle of that back three. I did think about maybe playing him as a libero, like a sweeper sort of player, but I don't think he's really very good at it. He doesn't carry the ball very well. So at the moment we have him as a ball-playing defender, as a stopper. He's good in the air. His tackling is good. He's a strong player. So he's going to be sort of sitting at the back of that defence, sweeping up any loose balls and trying to get them forward as we look to maybe play out of the back, not all the time, but at least try and start those attacks from the back. On the right of the back three, Christian Romero, a real sort of physical presence in there. Physically, he's good, but he's not great. But his marking's good, his tackling's good, and again, he's good in the air. So he's going to be on the right of that back three. He's going to be a ball player on stopper because he's not quite quick enough to be just a normal defender. He's not as quick as I'd hope. On the left of the back three, we've got a choice between Ben Davies and Clement Lenglet, who's on loan for Barcelona, and he's going to be playing as a wide centre back. Now, Lenglet hasn't really got great crossing, hasn't really got good dribbling with the ball, so that might not be good for him. But I think Ben Davies, if he were to play, he'd be good as that wide centre back, I think. And also, yeah, cover the left hand side if Reguilon or Perisic decides to go on an adventure up the left-hand side, because we do have our left wing-back as a complete wing-back. At the moment, that's Ivan Perisic, and he's going to be playing as a complete wing-back, maybe on attack as well. He's a very, very good player, 33 years old, still physically really good as well. Perisic could be really good on this left flank, so I've got him as a complete wing-back. On the right, we have a choice between Emerson and Matt Doherty, who's currently not quite fit to play, but we're looking at a sort of just normal wing-back on the right-hand side. He'll still get forward, but not nearly as much as the left-hand side. But Emerson Royal looks like a decent player, 23-year-old Brazilian, signed from Barcelona. He's got pace. He's a good tackler as well. He's a good defender, as well as, you know, how good he is getting forward. And then there's other options we mentioned. We've got Ben Davies on the left-hand side. Can also play as the left-back. Maybe not a wing-back. But if we do want to maybe go to a back four, then Ben Davies can play left-back. And we do also have Ryan Sessegnon for the left-hand side as well, as a complete wing back. Yeah, he's a decent player. Might be someone that, you know, we need to keep around, especially with homegrown stuff. You know, an English player to have. It's obviously going to be good. So that's kind of what we got defensively with the back three and the wing backs. Looking at centre midfield, at the moment we have Højbjerg and Bentancur in there. We do have Yves Bissouma as well on the sub bench. We've got Oliver Skip. And that's about it. I think centre midfield really lacking a bit of depth, Spurs. So Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is playing as a ball winner on defend at the moment. Very good tackling, physically not too bad. He's got decent pace, good stamina, aggressive, good teamwork, good work rate. just going to be a really good, ball winner in the midfield. I did think about maybe having him just sort of back here and have like a staggered midfield. But at the moment, he's alongside Bentancur. He's playing as a centre mid on support. Let's have a look at sort of how he fares for that. Really good first touch, good passer of the ball, good tackling as well, so he can win the ball, and mentally decent as well. Again, good work rate, positioning's good teamwork. We've got 2 good midfielders there, but behind them, I think we do need probably another extra man. Bissouma, I think, is decent. Really good first touch, great passer of the ball. I think he can maybe get forward a bit more, maybe have him as a centre mid on attack, which is really good on last year's game. I wonder if it's been nixed a bit this year. We'll wait and see. Oliver Skipp is almost back to full fitness. He had a bit of a long-term injury. Looks like a decent player, but again, bit more defensive. I think there is a bit of a lack of creativity in midfield, but that's what those wide areas are for, and that's why we're going to have Perisic and Emerson, or whoever's at wing-back, just pumping up and down those wings. And then we have the front three. Of course, Son and Kane is where we're going to really want that link up. They've got so many goals and goal combinations between them. It's unreal. Kulusevski is kind of the wild card. He's on loan, of course, from Juventus on that right-hand side. Currently, we've got inverted wingers out there, but that might change to inside forwards. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with that yet. But Kulusevski, really good carrier of the ball. He's a little bit quick. Great passer. Really good vision as well. So hopefully he can really get some balls in there. Either with like sort of low balls, low crosses, or really try and pump it in there for Kane to maybe get in the end of with the header. Heung-min Son also as an inverted winger, really, really quick, really good finisher as well. So I've got him shooting more often as an individual instruction. Good long shots as well. So yeah, he's going to be hopefully shooting and getting a bag of goals. And then Harry Kane currently playing as deep lying forward on attack. I struggled a bit with Kane. Really good finish at the ball, obviously. Great passer. He's just an absolute elite striker. But Kane can sometimes not go missing, but really doesn't really get like the support sometimes and finds himself a bit isolated in games. So what I want Kane to do is try and bring Son and Kulusevski or Son and Richarlison or whoever plays in and kind of sit back a little bit and try and hold it up. Absolutely still go for goals. That's why he's DLF attack. But there is a chance we can maybe have him as a DLF support, maybe even as a false 9, and really hold up the ball for Son and Kulusevski to come onto, because these guys are great finishers as well, especially Son. That's what I kind of want Kane to do, just to drop back in a little bit here, and then have Son sort of going ahead of him like that. And then we have Perisic, of course, coming up on the overlap as well, maybe trying to get some crosses in there for Son to get on the end of, or Kane to get on the end of. That's kind of what I want. So the midfield is really just trying to hold the fort. And if we're really trying to, drop back, we can go for something like this. So mentality-wise, we've got positive because, I think we've got enough about us to dominate possession and try and use the wings. So I think we've got the positive style down. We're passing into space. We're using the overlaps. I'm going to go overlap left and right. We don't have player at defence on, but we do have us rolling out and distributing the ball to the centre-backs from the goal kick. So we're not essentially playing out from the back, but that's kind of where our chance creation starts. And then out of possession, pretty simple really, standard defensive line and mid-block. We are pressing a little bit more often, and we are trying to trap them outside as well. So we're trying to force the players outside. So we want to try and win the ball back in those wide areas, and that is when those wing backs really shoot up the flanks to try and put those balls in for a Kane, or maybe even to the midfield and then back out again. That's kind of what I want from this. We'll see if we can actually do it or not. That's kind of what I want to see from this. Whether or not that comes true or not, we'll wait and see, but I like it. I think it's going to work well. We've got options to maybe go with the back four as well. If we have Ben Davies playing at right back, that gives us an extra man in midfield possibly as well. Go for a 4-3-3. There's always that option as well. But with that said, let's jump into the game then. I want to see how this goes. Tottenham versus Tottenham second 11. It's an intra-squad friendly. This is interesting. We have like training pitch stuff. This is really cool. It's an intra-squad friendly. I think I've got the match sounds on still. I don't think I've turned it on yet. So, maybe it's something to keep on. Maybe we need a bit of background noise, but there's no fans. So maybe we'll hear some players. Who knows? I've no idea. I can't actually hear it because I don't have headphones in. But this is the training ground, and this is our first look at the match engine. So there's our first 11, and there's the second 11. It's just like sort of youth players really. On the bench, we've got Forster, Sanchez, Richarlison's on the bench as well. Lucas Moura, another wide area that we haven't really looked at, and Brian Gill as well. Sort of a couple of other extra players in there. Davison Sanchez, of course, in the back line as well. I think midfield is lacking a bit of depth, so that might be something we need to try and work on in January, because we're not able to make any transfers in the first window because I disabled the first window transfers. So yeah, I think midfield is lacking a bit of depth, but other than that, it's a good squad. I'm sure it can win some trophies. Let's try and fix this then. I want to try and make it look as much like TV as I can. Right, I think we'll go for something like that. Here we go. Game is underway. Let's get our very first look at the game and the match engine. And I'm liking this already. The ball's sort of bouncing around a bit. Some with a chance here, but it's headed away. And now here come the reserves on the attack. So let's see if the midfield can win the ball back now, potentially. It's Ashcroft. And, well, that was a hopeful ball, but it wasn't a great ball forward. And now we're going to try and play it out from the back. Højbjerg's got a free kick here. And that wasn't far off the goal. Kulusevski. I like the balls like much more bouncy than usual. I really like that. Well controlled by Kane. But it's cleared. And now Longlet brings it forward. The animations of the ball is what I'm kind of noticing at the moment. It kind of bops around a bit when we're dribbling. Perisic with a great goal there inside 3 minutes. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It does look really, really good. There's been a lot said about FM's graphics on social media and how like bad it's been for so long. I think the regen faces do look really bad. They've actually like digressed since like in the past decade or so. But I think you've got to remember that, you know, they're trying to make this game accessible for everyone. Like FM's got pretty low system requirements. And I think if you're going to start, you know, making it look, you know, if you want to make it look like FIFA, you're going to need like powerful stuff to make it run. Like if it's on console, I get that, but not everyone's going to have like the best like PC. You know, people are going to be just playing it on their cheap laptops. And I think that's where like you know, you got your 2D match engine, you've got your 2D pitches and that. But I think at the end of the day, you want to make FM accessible for everyone. And I think a massive like upgrading graphics isn't really going to do that. But I agree that the game could look better. There's definitely things that they could change. But the match engine looks really good so far. Perisic with another chance here to get something. Longlet heads it down. Here's Heung-min Son. That's a great finish, and that's why I've got him shooting more often. Outside the box, he makes it 2-0 inside half an hour. I like the way the ball sort of bounces a bit, especially when we're like sort of controlling it. I don't know why I'm noticing the ball more than anything. And, you know, that was a nice goal by Heung-min Son. Just look on the lookout for anything new again. The shouts haven't changed. The interface still looks very, very similar. We've got the XG match story, which was a thing before. What I'd really like it's half time. We can see the match stats there, but you can't really see much more than that, which is a bit of a shame. We're going to the dressing room. I like what I'm seeing. That's nice. I'd love to be able to see the match stats now. Like, that's something that I think has been missing for a while. Like, it's half time, you need to be able to see match stats, and you can't do that. So that could do with changing. But we've got some stuff here on the tablet. Do we have anything extra here? I don't really remember what we had here. Match momentum, I think, was new. So you can kind of see the match story. It's similar to the XG story, but you can see in the first half we just absolutely dominated. So we're going to have a good look at that. I think that's that's in the data hub. I think the match momentum as well. So you've got that to look at. You've got your visualizer there, your pass maps as well, your shot maps, couple of shots for the reserves. So I think there's a couple of extra bits and pieces there in the tablet. But yeah, I really like how the match engine looks. I'm not noticing too much in the player animations, but I think that's a good thing. We don't want players going absolutely nuts. But Perisic has really bossed this left-hand side today. Heung-min Son with the ball now. And there's Kane sort of dropping in. And that's what I want to see. Now he sets up Heung-min Son, who's got a chance to maybe get a third here. It was a bad finish, but that's what I want Kane to do. I want him to sit back, and that allows Son and Kulusevski to funnel forward a bit. Kulusevski's been a bit quiet in this game, but I'm seeing things that I like from this tactic. And we're winning the ball in midfield as well, which I really like. Eric Dyer, very far forward here. Here's Clement Longlet, who we do have as a wide centre-back. We haven't really seen him come out to the left too much. He's kind of wanting to, but we have Son there. We've got Perisic there as well. Like, this left-hand side is going to be absolutely lethal with this tactic. Here's Harry Kane, Perisic, and wasn't really anyone in the box for that. That's where you could really do with maybe a second forward, so there's a possibility of maybe like a 4-4-2 there. There's so many options with this team. I just think, like I said, the midfield lacks a bit of depth. That's a phenomenal goal by Alfie Devine, the teenager. who's on the cusp of the first team. That's a fabulous finish by the youngster. McKendy with the ball, lays it off for Pescozzi. Here's Devine. That's a phenomenal goal. That really is. As I say, we haven't got too much in terms of instructions. I think it's a pretty basic 3-4-3. But I think those couple of individual instructions are going to make a big difference. I need to look at set pieces because those are something that I've always been sort of quite intimidated by. As part of the reason why I really wanted something set piece based in terms of the features, but we unfortunately didn't get. Like I said last time, set pieces feel like they haven't been touched in a long time, and I think that's an absolute shame. But you know, hopefully it'll be something they do for next year if there's enough sort of demand for it. Kulusevski to Kane. Oh, it was deflected there. Could have been a third, but I like what I'm seeing so far. Hopefully we can hold on and, you know, win the intra-squad friendly, because it would be a bit embarrassing if we didn't beat these guys. But Ashko's got a bit of space out on the left here. And, oh, wow. Okay, that was very close to actually going in and being 2-2. Kane again sitting quite deep. But again, that's the chance for Son to get forward. That's a great ball. And Kane, oh, that's a terrible finish. What on earth was that? I should probably make some changes, actually, shouldn't I? We're like 75 minutes into this game. Right, Davinson Sanchez is going to replace Dyer. Ben Davies is going to replace Longlet. Højbjerg's going to be replaced by Bissouma. Lucas Moura is going to replace Kulusevski and to be an out-and-out winger on support. And Richarlison is going to replace Heung-min Son. So, multiple changes there. About 10-15 minutes to go. Let's try and see if we can hold on for the win. A lucky goal for the reserves. And a couple of minutes to go. Yeah, I don't have any complaints with the match engine. It looks nice. The ball control was the thing that I sort of really noticed from this. Like sort of how the ball bounces and how the player sort of dribbles the ball. I think that's been the thing that I've sort of noticed more than anything, which is it's nice to see. But yeah, no complaints. It looks nice. It looks, you know, as good as it ever has done. Richarlison with a chance here. There's the third goal. Just as we approach 90 minutes. So that'll be a 3-1 win most likely. Emerson's a long way forward here. Might be a chance for a fourth here. Harry Kane with a shot on target, but well saved by the keeper. We conceded a goal which ended up being an absolute worldie, but other than that, we've controlled the game really well. We've dominated, and I've enjoyed what I've seen. I think tactically I've seen a lot of things that I like. The Harry Kane sort of sitting a bit deep and allowing Son to get further forward. I've liked what I've seen from both our team and from the game itself. That was a productive friendly. So we've got a bunch of friendlies, not really many against like established opposition. Like we don't really have like a tour, it seems. But that was a productive friendly. We got to work out the tactic for the first time. It looked good. And the match engine looks great as well. So I liked what I've seen. Next time, though, we will really get down to the proper business of the Premier League. Our first game of the season, we host Liverpool. It's going to be a tough start, but let's see if we can get some points on the board in that first game. Our media prediction for the table, the season preview has us in 5th place. So it's going to be difficult to try and break that top 4. Of course, Man United with Ten Hag. Of course, we want to try and finish above Arsenal. We want to try and really step up against Chelsea for our fans. Man City, unsurprisingly, are the firm favourites. What does Erling Haaland look like? Because I kind of need to see. Oh, God, he looks scary. But yeah, we've got some friendlies. We'll try and work on this tactic and see if we can really get it working well. And we'll come up against Liverpool next episode. But for now, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, leave comments and subscribe if you haven't, or if you're new, turn notifications on. And yes, next time we'll kick off our Premier League campaign. We are hosting Liverpool. Going to be a difficult start, but hopefully we can make it a good start. That's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.